have no idea. Yeah, this is recording. This is a really hard video for me to film. But as you can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be telling you about my depression, about one of my friends when she was depressed. I'm not going to be mentioning her name because that's not fair on her. But if you do know who I am talking about, please don't leave her name in the comments, because last time I talked about someone who knew I was talking about them put their name in the comments, and that wasn't fair. I'm also going to be telling you how I helped my depression. And yeah, that's it really. So, my depression started when I was 8. And I'm 12 now, so I've had depression for 4 years. When I was 8, I started being, two people were bullying me, and if you know who I'm talking about, please don't put their names in the comment either. But they fucked me up a lot. And whenever I talk to them, sometimes I just want to slap them now, because even though they didn't really say anything to me, actually it just wasn't two people. It was actually pretty much my whole class back then. This is hard. But yeah, basically my whole class hated me. Well, that's what it felt like anyway. This is when I was 8 years old. And I wasn't very good at PE. I wasn't very good at much stuff. And I actually went into this thing called, basically it's just a trauma. Because my brain was traumatized because I was shocked by how many people who hated me. And that's when my brain just gave up. I started losing my memory. I was a goody two-shoes when I was 8 years old. And basically everyone thought that I wasn't right, and they hated me for being nice to them. And then I would listen really well to my teacher, because she was actually a bitch as well. But I actually liked her at the time. I don't know why, but I actually liked her. And basically, I would listen to her. I would listen to what we had to do. I would get to my table, and by the time I got to the table, I would have forgotten what the task was. Even if it was just to go get a piece of paper, I'd be like, oh, what are we supposed to be doing? And then my classmates wouldn't tell me, and I would get told off. A lot. A lot. This came to the point until I actually came home crying every day until I moved schools. Because my mum, she actually went to work crying because she was worried about me. And oh, fuck. I'm trying to not edit this video as well, so this is fuck. And when I moved schools, it made me a lot happier. I got my memory back, but I still wasn't happy. I actually, when I moved to my next school, I was so happy. I got friends, and I didn't know what friends were, basically, because I thought everyone hated me and I didn't have friends. And I got my first best friend. Because she moved into my street. She went to my old school. Not the one that I was happy in, but she suffered the same problem as me, except she wasn't depressed, and she didn't enjoy that old school because she got there when my mum decided we was going to be moving me at some point. And she was my first best friend, my first actual proper best friend. And I don't even know if she watches my YouTube videos, but if you are, Jess, thank you. Thank you for being my friend. And when I moved, she did get upset because she told me that I was one of her only friends at the time too. And I felt really bad after that. But that's not my friend who I was going to be talking about. This is fucking hard. So I got into my new school, and things got better, but I still wasn't happy. I looked happy, and I sounded happy, but I wasn't happy. But I thought I was happy when I got my first boyfriend. And I regret the day I met him. He was my first boyfriend that I've ever had. And he fucked me up as well. He fucked me up a lot. The day after Okay, third try at filming this part. My camera stopped recording. And then I recorded one of these videos. I mentioned the guy's name. Then I mentioned his name again in a different video. But yeah, this guy fucked me up, and I'm gonna tell you about him. And I'm gonna try my best not to say his name. But yeah, this boy, he cheated on me in front of my face. I haven't told my friends about this yet, so hopefully they'll see this video. I was walking to Tesco's thinking about him because I was actually buying him a present, because it was going to be his birthday the week after. And I said, "Oh, hello." I'm not going to say his name. And I said, "Oh, who's your friend?" Because there was this girl with him at the time. And he said, "Oh, this is my friend." I believed him. Until this girl turned to him and said, "What the hell? I'm not your friend. I'm your girlfriend." That's when he just looked at me like, "Yeah, this is right. She's right. She's my girlfriend. You're not." And then she was like, "Oh, just hug me and forget about it." He hugged her and kissed her, so I slapped him. And I didn't tell my friends about this. But then he decided, "Oh, I still like you. I've broken up with that girl." And I said, "Oh, okay, I'll forgive you." Boy, I regret that so much. So I got back together with him, and then we had this huge argument. I'm happy about that argument. I'm happy we had that argument. And we broke up for the second time. And I told my friends about that time. This is hard. This video. But, yeah, that fucked me up a lot, because I trusted him twice. But that's when I found out about self-harming. Because I thought he loved me. I'm actually wearing a bracelet that he gave me right now. And he gave me quite a lot of bracelets. And I cut all of them up and I broke them all apart from this one because it has my name on it. But I still... Next time I see him, I'm gonna slap him. But again, please don't put his name in the comments, because that's not fair. Slapping is though, you can slap him if you know who I'm talking about. Fuck. But ever since we broke up, I've hated myself. I've hated myself for trusting him, and then I looked into self-harming because I've heard of it before. And I did. I found a razor blade. I broke a razor just so I could use the blades in it. And I just stuck it in my arm and cut my wrist. And because I still hadn't forgotten about the bullying, it was a lot harder. And one time I actually decided I didn't want to... Sorry, 1 second. Sorry. I have to stop a second. And I went into my back garden and I found the closest thing to a rope that I could find, and it turned out to be one of my skipping ropes that I had. And I actually tied it. I tied it to my fan and my neck. And I attempted suicide. And I haven't done it again. I've just tried to kill myself once. This is a really hard video for me to film, so and yeah, I haven't tried to kill myself from then, but after that I just decided I need help. And I told my friends about it, and they helped me. I didn't tell my parents, I didn't tell anyone else. And after that I got better and I stopped self-harming. And I stopped talking to that boy. And I forgot about the bullying. And I tried to forget about him. But telling a friend helps so much. It just makes you feel better. It makes you feel like you just... I'm going to use a metaphor here. And basically depression is like when you're walking alone in a forest or some other place and you walk into a well, an unmarked well or a hole, and a rock has fallen onto your leg and your leg is broken and it's really heavy and you can't move the rock, so you're stuck there. One way to get out is to wait for your leg to heal, chip away, break the rock somehow, and climb your way out. That would take ages to do, and that would be really hard. And the other way is to wait for someone to walk by and shout really loudly for help, and then that person will do anything they can to help you. And that is a lot quicker. They will find a rope and probably call the fire brigade or something, and it'll be a lot quicker and easier. I'll be talking about that a bit later on. And but yeah, I was still depressed after telling my friends, and then I went to secondary school, and because my school, my old school, the good school, was quite big, I was getting used to my school, my secondary school really quickly, because that was also quite a big school. And yeah, and ever since then I'm still depressed now, and oh my god. And then when I hit like puberty and stuff, I know it's really weird to talk about puberty and stuff in this video, but girls get hormonal, very hormonal, but I had this problem where my hormones were too high or something like that, and it made me feel just so low. And I actually decided I was going to talk to my mum about it after a month, because it made me feel like I wanted to kill myself again. But my mum doesn't know about the first part of my depression. And I just decided I want to talk to my mum about this, and I told her, I feel so low, I feel really depressed. And she said, oh Amber, don't worry about it, it's just your hormones. And I said, no Mum, it's not. I'm feeling really low, it's impossible that it will be my hormones, but it was. And my mum took me to the doctors, and he said, oh, no, she doesn't have depression. Depression doesn't exist in children. And I thought that was like the biggest load of bullshit I have ever heard. It is. Because I know I was depressed. And adults get depressed. And it's just stupid. I didn't believe him. I was depressed. He couldn't put me on antidepressants though, because they would be too strong. And then it got a load worse, because he just said, oh, no, you don't have depression, go away now. And then that's it really. But it carried on, and we just decided we were just going to try and ignore it. By we, I mean me and my family. And then I went back to cutting, and two of my friends actually told my tutor, and she told the school, and then the school told my parents. and I hated my friends for that. But I'm happy that they actually told now, because I didn't want my mum and dad to know that I cut. But my mum booked me another doctor's appointment, and it was a different doctor this time. And he helped me. He actually helped me this time. And he said, "Oh, I recommend this website to you," which I have mentioned in my videos before, called Mood Gym. It just told me what to do, and I also went to see the school counsellor. Well, she wasn't actually the counsellor, she was a school nurse. And she was more of a friend than a doctor or a nurse. And she was always smiling, and she helped me a lot. And she was really nice to me about everything, and she helped me. She helped me to stop cutting. She was literally the best person I could have talked to at the time, because she sent some things back to my mum saying, "Oh, you should use like a notepad and write down about your days," and hold on, I'll go get it and I'll read some stuff to you. Yeah, but basically there were some things that she said. My mum actually wrote in this as well as me, and on the first one it says, "Upset tonight, didn't want me to go to work." That was my mum, because I actually used to beg her not to go to work, and I didn't want to go to school, and because I just didn't want my friends to see me the way I was, and I just wanted to see my mum. I went into school late quite a lot because I just wanted to see my mum before I went to school, so I could have like a chance to calm down, talk to my mum. And then when my sister found out about it, she's 23 or 24, one of them, she's also had experience with this kind of stuff, like cutting, because she also had depression at the same age as me, as well as my cousin, and they like helped me as well because they understood what I was going through. And my sister took me to Costa a lot during this time, and she actually helped me a lot, and I love her a lot. And then my mum found out about my self-harming, and my mum said it was a big shock, and she said that she felt inadequate as a parent. And that made me feel terrible when she said that, because she wasn't a bad parent at all. She is one of the best parents. And it was just like really weird because it made my mum cry and my dad, and I've never seen my dad cry until then, because my mum, her daughter isn't my sister because my dad had a wife before my mum. So my mum didn't understand it as well as dad, but my dad didn't talk to me as much about it. And I felt as though he didn't understand me. So when it came to this, I kept on having arguments with my dad, and my relationship with my dad just died. And I didn't talk to my dad for a while, and because I just felt he didn't know me. Oh, crap. And basically we didn't get a lot of sleep after that, and then we just stopped with the notebook. And when we stopped writing it, I got a lot better, because if I put my feelings onto there, then I would cry a lot more. So that made me feel a lot better. And yeah, basically that's my story of depression. And now I'm going to talk to you about my friend, but I'm not going to mention her name either. And if you're watching this and you are able to put a comment, don't comment anyone's name. No, because even if you don't like her, she is my friend, and I don't want to be unfair on her and let everyone know that she had depression. Some other people know that she had, and I don't know if she still has it, but if she still has depression. And basically, just don't put her name in the comments. Don't put anyone's name in the comments unless you're talking about me. Because I don't mind if you put my name in the comments, because I have my name on YouTube anyway. But I'm just worried that other people will know their names and just talk to them and make a big fuss, and I don't want that. But basically, my friend, she was a lot worse than me when she got depressed, and she also was cutting, and I was a right bitch to her, because when you get depressed and you tell someone, they might not know what to do, and I didn't know what to do at the time, because this was when I hadn't ever talked to anyone about my depression. And she thought, oh, Amber's always happy, I'm gonna go to her and talk to her and see if she can help. But I didn't. I just said, whoa, you're cutting? If you're cutting, I don't want to be your friend anymore. And I was a right bitch. I was horrible to her about it. And I said, don't cut, don't, just stop. And I was a right bitch to her. And and then she thought I wasn't her friend anymore. but I was, and she said, do not tell anyone, but I did. I went and told the school because I didn't know what to do, and then people investigated into it, and it got better for a while, but I know I said earlier that I don't know if she still has depression, but I know she's literally only just being able to go one night without cutting, and now she'll cut again, and then she'll go without a night again, which is good because she used to cut every single night. But sometimes life sucks, and yeah, basically that's it. Life sucks, because it does, but we can't help that. Just try and live your life as well as you can, and be nice to people. Don't back away and avoid helping them when they tell you that they've been cutting or they have depression. Try and help them, because just that one little bit of support, and it helps them a lot. Just one person can do so much. She hated me, that girl, she hated me for telling the teachers, which I understand, because she told me not to tell anyone. But then she went back to cutting after, and she said, do not tell anyone this time or I will never stalk you again. And I didn't tell anyone, but I wish I did. I really wish I did, because the first time that she cut, she only cut for a little while, but she was cutting for 2 years after, and yeah, but just this is a really hard video. I know I've paused quite a lot in this video, but normally I would edit pauses out, but I'm not going to edit this, so you can well, I'm going to try and avoid editing, but I was actually, when I paused it earlier, that was because I was crying, and yeah, I was crying for quite a while, so sorry if you couldn't hear me, but my voice goes quiet when I feel sad. Fuck. So, if you ever want to talk to me, on my page there is a button, on my Facebook page there is a button where you can talk to me, and if you can relate, you can always talk to me on Facebook, and I will most likely reply to you, because I don't want anyone to hurt themselves. So yeah, if you relate, just leave a comment, or if you want to support me, then leave a like. My Facebook, Instagram, and some other stuff will be in the description. Yeah. See ya.